Sorry, last little note here, guys. The other thing that was confusing that they didn't mention was how. So there's the serpentine belt which goes around. This is the water pump pulley, and then you have the crank pulley at the very bottom, and you have the alternator pulley right down here. And the entire tension of this pulley in particular is from this bolt right here. So if you need to make any adjustments to the accessory belt, what you do is you would loosen up this bolt, which would loosen it up on this rail. If I can get my camera down there, you can see from this side actually, which will loosen it up on that rail. And then there's one more bolt right beside where your oil filter is. And you can actually feel in behind it. You can actually be up here to loosen it. You don't need to go underneath the car to loosen that one. And then you can either tighten it or loosen it with this. If you loosen it, then you have to use a wrench or something to move this back, and then you have to retighten it. Oh, and the last thing is if you do the water pump, you have to torque. The torque specs for some of these bolts are important. So the ones for the water pump, there's 3 at the front, which are 10 foot-pounds, and then there's 2 ones that are connecting. You can see them right here. There's one of them, and there is another one which is underneath the water pump pulley, which is, those 2 are 18, but the other 3 are 10. So don't over crank that, because I'm pretty sure that has to seat with the gasket that's on there very specifically. And so the other tip that I would have is that there's a pulley, there's a bolt on the pulley for the crank, and I just had an electric impact and that worked fine to take that off. You have to, give it, you might go through basically, like I went through basically a battery taking it out on that. And when you tighten it up, you're supposed to tighten it up to 100 to 108 foot-pounds for that one. And in all fairness, I just used the electric impact, and the battery was basically medium, and cranked that down. And well, from my experience, that's been about 100 foot-pounds. Then these little guys right here that are on the water pump pulley, they don't tighten up very much. I'd be guessing probably 15 foot-pounds for those guys. And gosh, I think that's it. Like the way that this kind of goes is when you take this off, then you can basically pull this belt off, but it's not going to come off yet until you loosen the alternator. When you loosen the bolt by the water or by the oil filter, and then you loosen up these 2 bolts, you can actually lift up the alternator very, very easily, and then you'll be able to get this belt off. And when this belt's off, then you'll be able to take off both belts. Anyway, all right, there. Thanks, guys. Bye.